no matter what reality, no matter what alterations, Takumi Inoue and Masato Kusaka should never, ever be friends in any definition. Yep, it's time to talk about Kamen Rider ZO episode 5 and no wait, 6, sorry, and Lupinranger versus Patranger episode 35. Yeah, there we go. Sorry for the mix up there. Alright, so, yeah, before I even forget, a nice little shout out to Shinichiro Shirakura, because apparently, according to him, American fans of Kamen Rider don't exist. We're like leprechauns, or the boogeyman, or let's see, a workplace that doesn't have crunch time. You know, apparently it's like a myth to this guy. Yeah, no, dude, we're real, and we're calling you out on your crap. And, this episode and the Point 5 episode basically confirms that Kamen Rider ZO is trolling on is basically Shirakura, you trying to take trolling to a new wondrous art form. Yeah, apparently, this episode, we finally get to the nitty gritty of behind another Forze, who, in the last episode when he was defeated, he basically cast off the Forze exterior to reveal that he actually is another Faiz, which explains why not only is Takumi and Kusaka are alive in 2018. Because, for those of you who haven't seen Faiz, they're both dead. Or who have at least seen the Kamen Rider Yongo Net movies, which was basically a giant retcon to fix the retcons that Shirakura also made in Kamen Rider Taisen, where Takumi was alive there for some dumb reason. Let's see, it was Kamen Rider Taisen because Shocker or Baton, which sorry, there's just so much bullshit there. It's hard to sort through it all. Now I remember. It was the Yongo Net movies were made to retcon the problems that were introduced in not only Superhero Taisen, not only Kamen Rider Taisen, but also Superhero Taisen Grand Prix. Where in that movie, Shocker was once again screwing around with time, which was tied into. The great leader of Shocker was basically able to keep a constant time loop going by somehow channeling the powers of Kamen Rider Faiz, and for that he needed Takumi alive. Basically, long story short, Shocker screwed around with Takumi's personal history. He never died at the end of his series. Everybody else around him did, and he was living on as Faiz, even though the Smart Brain Rider Gears are designed to accelerate the rapid genetic deterioration of the Orphnox who use them. And in case you haven't noticed, in case you forgot, Takumi is the Wolf Orphnox. And Kusaka is able to become Kaiza because of the events of what happened at the Ryusei school. Speaking of the Ryusei school, apparently that's the reason why Kusaka was seen tracking down these two down. The guy who is the another rider and the girl he's protecting, Karen, whatever. Apparently in this revised timeline, apparently they were both members of the Ryusei school, but somehow, it's never specified if they were there for when the Dragon Orphnox went on a rampage and killed everyone. Again, it's never specified. He just says they were with the Ryusei school, so that's why Kusaka was chasing them down. Basically, Kusaka, he knew that another rider was going around. The reason why he was targeting 18-year-old Libras was to keep Karin alive, because when it started all the way back in 2004. Apparently, he forgot to meet up with her for the Shooting Star Festival that they were going to, so she. This part here. The framing on this, just like with Grand Prix and with Kiriko, apparently committing suicide, if you've seen that scene in Superhero Taisen Grand Prix, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Where the way the scene was framed and staged. Well, they say that she got into an accident, but from what we see here, it looks like she just walked into oncoming traffic and killed herself. Because yes, of course, Shirakura would just blatantly use suicide as that frivolous a plot point, because he's that kind of unrepentant scumbag. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, Shirakura, real talk time. I know you don't listen to people that, to the people that, fundamentally should be paying your bills, but yeah, the only people you listen to apparently are the investors or the voices in your head. But yeah, let's just say for the sake of argument that you only listen to the investors. They're not going to be happy when, the fandom reactions, both critically, commercially, everything that you're doing with ZO is going to be costing them money. If the investors see that your show is not making back a profit, then guess whose ass is on the line there, Pally? Yours. Yes, you. Yes, you are. Yes, you know. You know how money works. Or at least I hope you do. But yeah, just yeah, I know you don't care about what the fans think. If, I mean, why would you listen to the people that supported the franchise for years? But yeah, oh yeah. Anything that was not, what was that quote again by you? Oh yeah, anything that isn't helmed by you is just immature fluff. Yeah, and you're a little. What was the show you were responsible for? Wholly responsible for again? Oh yeah, Amazons. How did that turn out? Okay, the first season you could take a look and say it's kind of fun and like an '80s action movie gore kind of way. Just like a gore fest. Just fluff. But season two, I have no idea. You just completely shat the bed on that one. Yeah, you're the ones who is making mature thing. You're the one who's making mature storytelling, mature toku. Whereas everything that you are not directly involved with, you just see as immature garbage, which you have directly done with this episode as an homage to Faiz, where Faiz's main themes was dealing with with death, depression, existentialism, and well, just primarily the reasons why I'm not going to watch Faiz because, well, at least for as much flack Toshiki Inoue gets from the fan base, a lot deserved, by the way, he at least knew to handle delicate subject matters like depression, bullying, and suicide in a much more tactful and respectful way than you. You are not a good person, Shirakura. You use suicide as a plot device just because. You are scum, plain and simple. Okay, back on track, rant over. Sorry. Anyways, yeah, because she was, well, either way, Kamen is dead, and this guy was, well, he was completely wrought with grief because, well, he broke his promise with her, and, well, yeah, according to Ora, who showed up later, she said that he would carry this guilt with him for the rest of his life and would completely destroy him. And so that's when she made the original offer, and she gave him the Faiz ride watch, and where he becomes another Faiz. Oh yeah, and yeah, where this took place back in October 25th of 2004. Yeah, as we actually see a little bit of stock footage from the episode where Takumi was fighting against the Elephant Orphanok, who was trying to crush Mari underneath the car. And okay, yeah, at least they're actually using correct stock footage for the appropriate times. At least, well, with the older series. I mean, yeah, going back to the Build episode. Oh boy, did they screw that one up. But yeah, anyways, now that he has the powers of another Faiz, he somehow, don't ask me how, is able to steal the life force of 18-year-old Libras in order to keep Karin alive, and they've just been going around all of Japan, I guess, for like the last, like 14, 15 years or so, just repeating the cycle over and over and over again. He kills students, keeps her alive, and once the rumors starts circulating about them being treated as runaways, then they go and make tracks to the next location. Again, somehow ignoring how they're able to circumvent the Japanese school system, which, if I remember right, is very, very, very strict about these kinds of things. I mean, they didn't. I mean, oh yeah, and faults on Tsukuyomi here for not noticing the same girl in the same shots as the victims. Yeah, hello, Black Convenience Playhouse. It's been a while, isn't it? Anyways, So yeah, now that we all know the truth, oh yeah, explaining how he got the powers of another Forze. Yeah, remember back in 2011? Yeah, apparently the powers of the Faiz Ride Watch, the another rider's Ride Watches, they apparently start to fade over time if they're used for like extended periods. So yeah, let's see. Let me see. So yeah, he got the Ride Watch back in 2004. So 7 years, or was it? Yeah, 2004. No. Wait, it was 2003. Right there we go. Now I remember. So like 11 years later, his powers have been apparently deteriorating, so that's when Schwartz showed up and gave him the powers of Forze. So yeah, that explains why the Forze, another rider suit, was overlaying over the on the another Phi suit. They actually they actually managed to justify rehashing kit bashing costumes as a plot device. I honestly have no idea whether I should applaud or smack him in the head. Ugh. I mean, hey, if you are going to do something like reusing costumes for something like this, at least, at least you could make. That's a good way to go about it. And actually, yeah, another good thing about this is that, yeah, when they figure out the truth and another Forze makes tracks, yeah, and Takumi goes and gives Sogo the Fai's Ride Watch. But instead of Sogo claiming it to using it to claim Faiz's power, he instead goes and gives it to Gates so that he can go and track down, go back to 2003 and take care of another Faiz. And yeah, well, in the show itself, it's framed as, yeah, here, take it. I want you go and take care of him because, well, I'm gonna go take care of another Forze again. But yeah, the way I would have gone about this is that, yeah, would probably be a subtle way of continuing Sogo's trust in Gates and Tsukiyomi. He knows that once he gets the powers of all the Heisei riders, he will become Omazio. So yeah, like he said, when he trusts that Gates and Tsukiyomi will kill him if it looks like he is going to become the Demon King, yeah, he trusts their judgment. This is basically another form of insurance. So yeah, he gave Gates the Fai's Ride Watch. So yeah, he already has Drive and Ghost's Ride Watches. Again, don't ask me how. I'm betting that's like say for like a prequel mini series or like some sort of V Cinema special. I'm guessing. Yeah. So yeah, look forward to seeing another Ghost and another Drive at some point. Anyways, yeah. The way I see it, it's kind of like what happened when Superman gave Batman the a ring of kryptonite. Yeah, a kryptonite ring. So yeah, Superman gave Batman the kryptonite ring because he's the one person he could count on, he could trust to stop him in case he ever strays off his path, goes rogue, or turns evil or whatever. Yeah, Superman gave Batman he opened up his chest, showed Batman where to stab the knife because he knows that, yeah, he trusts Batman will be able to stop him if the time comes. Yeah, the way I would have framed if I was writing Zio, yeah, that's how I would have framed it. Yeah, Sogo giving Gates the Fai's Ride Watch as another sign of his trust. That he to trust Gates to do the right thing when the time comes if he is in danger of becoming the Demon King. So yeah, the episode just another Forze, another Fai's are wrapped up. Both another riders are destroyed. I mean the same, and so yeah. Both riders' histories are completely overwritten until the ride watches are destroyed, yada yada yada. And yeah, Takumi and Kusaka are apparently friends in this chain of events. Now, again, I'm more than willing to give the benefit of a doubt. I mean, 15 years is a long time for two people to change and develop their relationships. And yeah, the conditions that Takumi and Kusaka met in the original series, I mean, Kusaka is still an evil piece of garbage. But, I mean, even Takumi admits that even though he considers him a friend, he still hates Kusaka's miserable, rotten guts. Ugh. Oh yeah, and the .5 episode. Kusaka is still basically the producer's or the writer's mouthpiece because, yeah, when they were reading off their scripts, Kusaka, because of course he's a lying, manipulative psychopath, was just reading off a whole bunch of crap about Faiz that was absolutely wrong in every sense of the word. And yeah, they were like, who wrote this crap? And it turns out it was written by Shirakura. Yeah, the .5 episodes are just to confirm that Shirakura is in fact using Kamen Rider ZO to troll his fan base. To troll the Kamen Rider fan base. And yeah, he was just like, yeah, he even gave us a meme. Yeah, is something wrong with the show? It must be producer Shirakura's doing. Something not making sense. The funding got slashed. It must be producer Shirakura's doing. So yeah, thanks for giving us a reason. Thanks for giving us the weapon to go and call you out for your crap, pal. Thanks. Yeah, just. Long story short, this episode is just a mess. And if people were on the fence of whether ZO was a good show or not, this would pretty much confirm that it's not. He does not. Shirakura does not care. He is just a contemptible person, and would take serious subject matter just to troll a fan base and make light of an incredibly difficult and delicate subject matter such as suicide, because he's just that kind of a sociopath. Okay, you know what? I need some time. I need something lighter to talk about. So yeah, on to this week's episode of last week's episode of Lupinranger versus Patranger. Alright, well, yeah, the situation this time is not exactly as, well, depressing as ZO. So, yeah, the monster for this week, the Ganglar this week, has a collection piece that lets him divide people into, split people into threes. There's their normal self, then there's their good half, and then there's their evil half. Yeah, for anyone who's seen the effects of the Tiger Talisman from Jackie Chan Adventures, it's kind of like that, only it doesn't split the person in two, it just creates two duplicates of themselves. And basically, his plan with the collection piece is to have their the victims' evil sides go crazy and terrorize the town, and while the neutral and good halves are just left to cower. And yeah, apparently, if this continues for like 6 hours, then of all three halves aren't joined back together, then within 6 hours they'll die. And yeah, the Lupinranger's stake in this is that, the Ganglar was originally going to do this to Kairi, but because of the Patranger's interference, their interference actually being a good thing for once, the Ganglar's attack actually manages to hit Kogure. So yeah, Kogure's good half and evil half are left to go and cause chaos. And so yeah, the Lupinrangers have to go retrieve the good. Alright, yeah, anyways, just trying to collect my thoughts there. Yeah, basically, yeah, while the Lupinrangers are running around trying to retrieve Kogure's good and evil halves, the Patrangers actually have to go around and round up the good and evil halves of the rest of the victims. And yeah, this is actually kind of an interesting... Well, the interesting part of this episode is, when Kogure is left with his good half, they basically start talking about showing regret for dragging the Lupinrangers into this whole mess with the Ganglar and the collection pieces. And yeah, Kogure later in the episode admitted that he didn't want to personally get involved. He wanted to avoid personal interaction with the Lupinrangers as much as possible, because he's starting to develop concern for them. And yeah, this kind of goes back to what was addressed like a couple of episodes ago with Noelle not knowing exactly what will happen if the collection pieces are all gathered. My personal theory is that Kogure, there is no wish when the collection pieces are collected. It's apparently going to start some sort of apocalyptic ending or something like that. He was using Kogure, or some outside force is using the Lupinrangers and the Patrangers, playing them like fiddles, to go and get the collection pieces back for the Ganglar. So someone possibly affiliated with Lupin's estate could use all the pieces to take over the world or something like that. Kogure is complicit in this. He's an accomplice in all this, and he's starting to have regrets now that he actually knows the people that he's basically suckered into doing during the Lupin's estate's dirty work. And yeah, oh god, yeah, oh yeah, the silliness of getting the good and evil halves. Yeah, the good half. Yeah, Tuma and Umika managed to track down Kogore's good half by where he just wandered around, just started helping out as many people as he saw. One of them being this absolutely stupid kid who, there was a truck. Oh yes, where we marked the return of the popular meme Truck-kun, or Truck-kun was okay. Let's see. There is the kid is like over here. He was chasing his ball to go. He was collecting his ball in the middle of the street. The kid's right here. The Truck-kun was coming like all the way down the street here. The kid had more than enough time to get away, or just get back on the side of the road, but he just stood there like a deer in the headlights. It honestly reminded me of this scene from the first Austin Powers movie where Austin and Vanessa Miss Kensington, were driving around on this steamroller, deal over there. They were driving this road roller in Dr. Evil's lair, and there's this one security guard who's just standing all the way at the end of the room, and he's just like, no! I mean, it's a very, very slow-moving steamroller. He could have just gotten out of the way, but no, he just stood there, kept screaming no, and then just got flattened out like a pancake. Guys, you're not exactly selling this scene as tension-filled when you're reminding me of a late 90s Mike Myers comedy. As if that ridiculousness was enough, tracking down Kogore's evil half was about as ridiculous. He was apparently riding around in this motorcycle looking like one of the one of these I don't know the exact term for Japanese bikers back in the 80s, but the inspiration for the Bozak from Patranger. They were just driving around in this absolutely ridiculous. He was driving this absolutely loud. This garish bike in pink coat that was so loud. I honestly needed earplugs just to look at the thing. He was just driving around making as much noise as possible. Ah! With this loud. It honestly reminded me of that episode of South Park where they tried to redefine the word F.A., to mean loud, obnoxious douchebags on Harley motorcycles who are determined to make as much noise as possible. It was reminding me of an episode of South Park. It was loud in every sense of the word, and it was just hilarious. But they managed to get Kogure back together. And this actually debuted the Lupin Magnum's ability to apparently become a secondary mech. Basically like the Tackle Boy or no, not O-Puncher. Let's see. The robot that became a giant gun for Jet Icarus or Great Icarus and Jetman. Basically the boy mech of the series. And this came completely out of nowhere. It was just like, okay, let's do this. No build-up, no hinting that it actually could do this. Maybe it was Lupin's personal mech or something like that. Maybe that's why it was his favorite. I don't know. But it could apparently become a giant mech. And as we see in the next episode, the hints for the next episode, apparently it can join together with it can form a separate mech, just like a Lupin and Patranger. So theoretically, in the future, we can have this the two Lupinranger and Patranger mechs out at the same time to deal with Ganglars. Well, so pretty much kind of a fluff episode. I could see some hinting for the Lupin versus Patranger's endgame. Well, it's getting closer to the top 40s. The end for the show is coming. And I haven't seen anything about the hinting for the new Sentai series afterwards. Just I'll see it when I see it. So Kamen Rider ZO, it's just more of the same shit, and Lupinranger versus Patranger, it's a different kind of shit. It's a funny kind of shit. So yeah, until next time with the next episodes of Kamen Rider Vlog, Toku Vlogs. This is David on David's Brain. See you when I see ya.